So welcome back to the Sober 876 channel. We are here to do a quick deck profile. I got third place at a local box tournament. First time using the deck. Not going to waste a lot of time, just going to go through the profile real quick with the main extra inside. So to get started, we have 3 Lulu. This is the main searcher in the deck. You have to play 3. Otherwise it kind of makes no sense because you need to get to your other cards, and it's a level 3 tuner which the deck definitely needs to make its best plays, including Shen or Shenxia or VFD. So 3, basically you pay all 3 offs for each virtual world. This is your recursion card. It works well with Desires because it puts back a banished card into your deck. It doesn't matter if it's face down or face up, doesn't matter. And once you summon a level 3 monster, whether you're normal or special, it can trigger in the grave and special summon itself, and it becomes a tuner. So you have to be mindful of the fact that it becomes a tuner, because if you have multiple tuners on the field, you can't sync a summon with multiple tuners because restrictions, of course. And the best virtual world monster in the deck next to Lulu, Lolo. This allows you to make double VFD, with Cloud Castle, because you can make your first VFD and then you get this card, you bring back a level 9, because we're going to use VFD to detach, call light, so you don't get any beard. Then you use this guy, make Cloud Castle, bring back the level 9 that you used, and then you make your other VFD. So this is a very important card in the deck. We play this guy at 3 because it's another level 6, and it gets you to dump 2 cards, either spell and trap, depending on if you target monster to special, or any cards that you really need to do. 3 GG, it's your recursion card. Once it specializes to the field, it gets you any one of these guys that you use throughout your combo, so you can continue your turn for next. Yeah, you can continue to play for next turn. So that's about it for all the virtual world monsters. Now we're going to move on to the hand traps. Played 2 Skullmeister. I switched these out last minute from 2 Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence isn't very good in this format, and this card and Bill is, and I wanted as much consistency as I could find, even though it was the first time I was using the deck. So I opted to play this because it has a lot of utility against everything in the meta. And apparently one of the best hand traps right now, including the 1 brick, 1 driver, 3 gamma. This was the MVP hand trap for the tournament for me. This won me my top 8 match as well. I go Foolish Goods, he goes Ash, I go Gamma, and then I go into Omega and rip 1 more card, and then it's just GG's from there. Because playing against VFD with 4 cards or 3 cards isn't exactly fun. 3 Ash Blossom. She's a level 3 tuner, and she's one of the best hand traps in the game right now. So why not play her, right? She has she's able to be used against mostly anything in the meta, so this is why we play her. And it can be applicable against even the virtual worlds themselves, so in the mirror match it becomes even more prevalent. And that's going to do it for the monsters. We're on to the spells. We play 3 Kinglong. This is your main spell in the deck. This gets you to all your virtual world monsters. Bear in mind, you have to have a card to discard, because if you activate this card and search your 1 virtual world monster with no other cards in hand, you're going to have to discard that virtual world monster, and that makes no sense. You'd just be minusing yourself. So that's 3 Kinglong. 3 City, because this gets you to your trap so that you can make your VFD and Chuche plays, so that people can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? Because nobody likes to let their opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh! Play 3 Desires, because drawing 2 cards is always fun, and this deck doesn't care what gets banished because of cards like Nyan Nyan and all that. So we play 3 of this guy, and it's easy Ash bait so that you can gamma them and just enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! While you wreck people's days. And we play 2 Foolish Goods because it gets you to this card or it gets you to your Chuche. so that you can either up your levels to make your rank 9s, level 9s, level 3s, rank 6, level 6s. Yeah, basically. We played one Call by the Grave. I do not own triple tactic talents, and I would not plan to buy that card, even though I would love to have them. But that price tag is way too much. So I played Call by the Grave 1. It's an exceptional card. It's very important to the deck. And the one Emergency Teleport, it is needed. It can be a starter or an extender. So it all depends on how you want to use the card, basically. So that's going to be doing it for the spells of the deck. And we basically just played 3 traps, the 3 Chucha, because as I said, I didn't play Impermanence. I didn't see the reason for it in this meta because it's not as impactful. So the only traps you play in this deck is 3 Chucha. You can banish this card to up or decrease your virtual monsters levels, or you can just target 2 banish virtual cards with different names, put them back in the deck, and destroy one face-up card on the field. So yeah, interesting thing to note is you can use this card to dodge an Impermanence or a Forbidden Chalice from your VFD. So if your opponent goes summon and you VFD and they decide to Chalice, you can chain this card, pop your own VFD, and the Chalice resolves and has no effect. Your VFD resolves and they can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! And you just win. So that's important to note. And on to the extra deck. Play the one Shenxia, of course. This is a very oppressive card because it says that anything your opponent sends, any card is sent from the field, including your own cards, which this deck does not care. Everything is banished. One show thing, I never made this card, but it was good to have. Never made this card either, but it was good spot removal to have, and it gets you to your low. We played this card. This card I made a lot because drawing cards is always fun, and I like to have a lot of cards in hand. So this was made a lot, and it put in a lot of work. It basically allowed me to disrupt my opponent's back row before actually making cards like this or VFD, so that, you know, cards like Strike or anything like that could have any sort of value. It's good to draw a back row from your opponents before actually making your power plays. So this is a very good card. 2 Cloud Castle gets you to your VFD, and my spice, as I mentioned, the 1 Cypher and Lord Omega. Because my ideology was, why play Gamma and Driver and have nothing to do with them? Because as you guys know, Virtual World is not Link Summon, and there is no level 8 Virtual World monster, so I opted to play this so as to not waste cards and to allow the other copies of Gamma to be live if necessary. And ripping another card from your opponent is always fun. I actually didn't play this card yesterday. I cut it for, I think it was Bamboozling, and I kinda regretted it because this card came up once where I needed to make a VFD, but I needed a level 6 with Virtual World monster, and I only had 2 level 3 Virtual World monsters. But I needed a level 6 one so I could make VFD, and if I had this I could make the play, but I didn't, so now I'm going to play this card. Very important card. This card in combination with this card got me to cards and got me out of situation because they're both spot removal. This card discards a card to target any card on your opponent's side of the field, destroy it. And when it's synchro summoned and goes to the graveyard, you draw a card. Important as well because, I mean, we love drawing cards. We do. When this card is synchro summoned, you draw a card. And that's about all the synchros. We played 1 Breaksword. Never made this card the entire tournament, but apparently everybody and their grandmother plays it, and it affords some sort of stability to the deck, so why not? 1 M7. Never made this card at all. Never even got to utilize the card to get back Ash or Drow. Well, I didn't play Drow, but yeah. But it's a good card to have. It's good spot removal. And I'm actually thinking of playing like Trishula to get rid of cards like Dragoons. But on that note, I played this card. It got rid of many Dragoons yesterday because you just draw the negates and boom, their dragoon is at 4,000, and you make this guy and they cry because they're like, I made this against somebody and I entered battle and I said attack. He's like, so your monster dies? I'm like, no, your monster is at 0. He asks why. So because when this guy comes, he drops everything on your board to 0. He does not target, so he doesn't care about dragoons, so I'm just going to shit on your day. Yeah, it's good to play if you don't have Zeus. It's good for the grind game, but Zeus is better. But if you don't have Zeus, you have to play a specific kind of way, or you just kind of lose, so you have to know how to play the game. And the most toxic card in all of the Yu-Gi-Oh community right now, VFD. This card is not fair, and Konami, you should really ban this card. It should have been banned from its inception, so I hope you do something about it now, please. And we played tokens, because I had no reason to use them, but they look good in my deck box. One Burst token, one Kaiba token, and a token. I have no idea what this card is. It looks like an Xyz monster, I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's going to be it for the profile, guys. You know, as usual, like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks again for watching. Until next time, peace.